Om Shanti. In today's Murli, Baba says that when you have the foundation of knowledge, then you are able to have yoga with Baba. So, remembrance, accurate, constant, intense remembrance of Baba depends on how much we understand the truth. Now, let me tell you shared something with you that happened some days back. So there was this brother, and I was just explaining to him that, you see, you are a soul and you are the one who does everything through the body. So it is important that you, the soul, are in your good spiritual stage. And then he started talking to me about the importance of money. And then he said that, you see, sister, that anybody, when you need to, you are working in this world and you think that, your relationship should be good, health should be fine, or your work should go well, then the primary concern is money. So then I told him, I don't deny the relevance of money. But the thing is, even if you have a lot of money, yes, will you not suffer from bad physical health? Will your relationships not go bad? Or will your work always go well? So that's not how it works. And the thing is, how you use your money, when to use it, how to use it, also you will need discernment and decision-making power for that. So if you have the money and you don't know, you don't have the discernment to use it well, then that same money can spoil your kids, because you have not provided them with any structure and you have just given them money arbitrarily. And then those same kids can become a liability because of the money, or because you are intoxicated with the importance of money in your life. So you see that yesterday Baba was talking about the intoxication of perishable wealth. And I was just thinking about that when people are intoxicated with the importance of physical wealth. So if you are very intoxicated with this idea that I'm very wealthy, then probably you don't pay attention to having a disciplined lifestyle, or taking care of your health, or you misbehave with people, or you are not living responsibly. And in that sense, even this physical condition in which you are living right now is unsustainable. So then you kind of increasingly feel that the way you are dealing with your body and relationships and work, it's going downhill. So Baba says that you must understand that everything notwithstanding, you see, the body is there, relationships are there, wealth is there, work is there. But who are you? You are a soul. And you, the soul, have the three organs, the man, buddhi and sanskar. And your thoughts, your decisions, your discernment, so your buddhi is constantly discerning and deciding what to do, how much to do, when to withdraw, how much to engage, how much to invest, whether it is time, whether it is money, whether it is thought. So everything that you decide with respect to, your resources, how you discern the situation, it all depends on your buddhi. And then you have sanskars, which could be very, it has a whole range. It could be from very, very tamo pradhan to the good kind. So Baba has told us that you as a soul have these three faculties, the man, buddhi and sanskar, which are the foundation of your karma. And your karma is what creates your destiny. So when you, the soul, are not in your power, so one thing we must understand, that the man, buddhi and sanskar are the organs, and the organs will only function as well as the owner. So if I, the soul, am not in my power, I am not knowledgeful, peaceful, loveful, happy, then what happens is my man, buddhi and sanskar are not functioning accurately. And then my decisions, my karma is not leading to a favorable destiny for me. So Baba says that you must understand the knowledge first. So when you understand that I am a soul and this is how it goes. So when you become an engineer and you're working with machines, you should know where to start. So even if you know that this is the problem and this is the solution, so you need to know where is the problem, where is the solution, where do you need to start to get at the solution. So the knowledge that Baba gives us is all about this. It's all about discerning where the problem is, discerning what the solution is, and then working where actual intervention is required. Because you see that when I am a powerless soul, when I don't have the capacity of love or peace, or I am unhappy, then even if I am trying to solve things at work or in relationships, it is not going to work out, because my state of being is so depleted that all my actions are not going to be accurate actions. So Baba says, first you need to understand the knowledge, and there has to be a lot of clarity about the knowledge. Now the thing is, even if you understand that, okay, I, the soul, have 7 qualities and now I am depleted, what you have to understand after this is, what is the source of these qualities? Because even in psychology, people have come to a place where they understand that a person needs to be happy, and they need to find love, and they need to have some power, in the sense of they need to have a sense of self-worth. But how they suggest to find that is very complicated, because they would say that you hug people and people should be close to you and this and that is the source of love. But what if nobody is willing to hug you? Then what happens? Or you don't have any scope for having silence in your day, or you don't even have any resources to buy the things you want, or you don't have an identity which is helping you to feel powerful. So what happens in those cases? So then you start running after them, because these days people will say, if you exercise then you will release happy hormones, if you eat chocolate then there will be release of happy hormones. But what you don't understand is that the pituitary and the hypothalamus is responding to the soul. And the soul, if I, the soul, am connected to Baba, then I am in my happy state. So it's about consciousness, it's about your state of awareness, which actually induces those hormones to release in the body. So it's not a physical phenomena that you eat this, you go there, you hug, you exercise. That's not how it goes. How much will you exercise? And okay, so even if you exercise for 2 hours, okay, at that time happy hormones. What after that? And if exercising released happy hormones, then your jhadu pocha wali should be very happy. But she is all day exercising, but but why is she not happy? So it's not about that. It's always about your consciousness, your mind and your buddhi, the way they are behaving. So if you are in an elevated consciousness, I am peaceful, I am the child of the ocean of peace. And when you are in that state, your mind and your buddhi are functioning accordingly, because they are the organs of the soul. So when the soul is in higher consciousness, the man, buddhi and sanskar follow. Now, how do you elevate the consciousness of the soul? So up until now, we did not have this knowledge that the soul elevates or depletes consciousness through remembrance. So we were not aware of this capacity or karma of remembrance that we all obviously do. So all day we are remembering. So we are always creating, our man and buddhi is connected somewhere or the other, but we did not know that something that we did so organically and subconsciously is creating our destiny, or it is depleting our strength, or it can increase our strength. So we were not aware of this capacity of the soul to remember. And Baba says, the one you become like the one you remember. So that's such a big piece of knowledge that Baba gives us. And Baba says that if you remember someone or something that is in its low consciousness, then you will also be pulled downwards. And when you remember that one who is in higher consciousness, then you will be pulled upwards. Now, this is the law that Baba tells us, and that is why Baba says that when you gauge the whole situation, so knowledge gives you a very good discernment of why remember Baba. So that why becomes very clear when you have knowledge sitting in your buddhi. And Baba says you must understand that you are a soul, and everything that you get is because of what you do, and everything that you do is because of who you are. And to better who you are, you have to remember me. So you're doing, you're getting, everything is going to get better only when you remember me. So Baba says that when you remember me, then this whole your external context is going to get sorted. And the second thing which takes time to settle in the buddhi, but which is very important, is that we have to go home. And this is the time when the whole cycle is coming to an end. So Baba says that I have given you the knowledge of the soul. I have given you the knowledge of the father of the soul. The father of the soul who is going to nourish the soul. And you understand the importance of spiritual nourishment. because you understand that the physical condition, the strength of the physical condition depends on the spiritual nourishment. So that is why you look up to me to give to, so that I, the Father, can provide you with that spiritual nourishment. Now, having said that, Baba also gives us the knowledge of the time cycle. And Baba says that, time and action, they are connected. So, when you say whether this is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, it always depends on which time are you talking about. Let me give you an example. If I ask you, is waking up good or sleeping good? So is it right to keep sleeping or is it right to stay awake? Then you tell me that no, sleeping is necessary, but waking up is also good and staying awake is important, but it depends on the time of the day. So if you're waking up at night, not a good idea. If you're staying awake at night, not a good idea. If you're sleeping in the morning, not a good idea. So the relevance, the rightness or wrongness of a karma depends on the time. And Baba, that is why Baba says that, according to the time cycle, if you look at the karma, every karma has its relevance according to the time cycle. So in Satyug and Treta Yuga, being a deity is relevant. When you come down, being a worshipper is relevant. Being in bhakti is relevant, because that is the time you're coming down. But now Baba says this is the time to go back. And you see that in every cycle, there is a continuity. So the day has to change into the night and the night has to change into the day. And you have to respect that. Yes, if you keep questioning why is the day changing into the night or why is the night changing into the day, then you will only be miserable. But if you understand that from this time to this time it is the day and you can operate like this and it is fine, but from that time onwards it is going to be night. Now you see, these days people have created tube lights and bulbs and various other instruments, so we are able to mess with nature. But earlier it was better because the day changed into night and the people followed that clock and they knew that now we have to pack up. So we have to pack up for the day and then we have to go into sleep and rest. And I remember that when I used to go to my grandmother's place as a child, so it was a village, and in that village there was not much facilities. And in that time, by 6 in the evening, they would all be, they would all have their dinner and they would get ready and they would just wash the utensils and keep it all. And then after that, we used to just sit, read stories and talk. And then after that, it was time to sleep. And by 8:30, we would sleep. And then we would wake up at 3:30 and we would go for a walk in the, almost when it was dark we would go for a walk, and then when it was dawn they used to start working, and it was very beautiful and I really enjoyed that. And when I came into Gyan, or even in the world, people these days say you eat by 6 or you eat by 6:30, and then we are not able to follow all of that because we have messed up with nature. So we are not able to. So the right time to get up is with the sun. The right time to start packing up is with the setting of the sun. But now we have messed up everything. So now Baba says that just like, there is a day and night, and if you listen to the cycle of the day and night, then you are functioning according to your biological clock. So, if you're following the natural clock, so you are also following your biological clock, because your body is a part of nature. So your body is made of the 5 elements. So the natural clock and your biological clock are in sync. But then we messed up with that, and then we are in trouble now. Now Baba says, similarly, there is a spiritual, there is a bigger clock, bigger than the day and night. And just like your body has to be in sync with the limited natural clock. So with the clock of day and night, you, the soul, have to be in sync with this unlimited clock. So there is this unlimited big clock of time, which we show in the picture of the time cycle, and that unlimited clock is 5,000 years old, and it has it goes from 1 to 5,000 years. And Baba says, just like your body must listen to the 24-hour clock, you, the soul, must listen to this 5,000 year clock. Because if you listen to it, and if you perform your spiritual functions, if you align your man, buddhi and sanskar according to this clock, then you will benefit the most. So Baba says, you did not have the knowledge of the spiritual clock until now, or the time cycle until now, but now you know that I have given you the knowledge that we are at the end, and it is advisable to understand that it is time to pack up and time to go back. And Baba says that you need to do the needful to pack up. And what is the needful? That you remember Baba and draw in that purity, that peace, that love which you need for going back, because you cannot go back in an impure state. So this karma, this whole process of remembering Baba until you get ready to go back, this is very important. And Baba says, you will only pay attention to, forget the issues of the world and remember Baba if this sits properly in your buddhi, that I am at the end of the time cycle and my priority is to get ready to go. Because you see, to go, you first need to let go. When you go anywhere, you first have to let go. Even when you walk on earth, you have to let go of your feet in the behind so that you can put your feet forward. You cannot keep holding on to the feet which is behind and move forward. It doesn't happen like that. But to let go, you must understand the importance to go forward. And the thing is, this whole world, this world of matter where there is the pull of the body, the senses, the relationships, the work, there is so much of pull, which is the pull of Maya. And Baba says, when Maya is pulling you, it is this clarity of, who you are, what is the time, what is relevant in this time, where do you have to go. This is what will help you to let go of whatever is pulling your buddhi and allow it to stay in remembrance of Baba and discern and decide accurately. So, even if somebody is yelling at you, it will help you to just stay calm at that time, because you understand this is not important. What is important is I maintain that state of peace and purity, which will help me to go beyond. So when the aim is clear, when this knowledge, so Baba says it is very important for you to have clarity of knowledge. Who are you? Who is the one who is going to give you what you actually need, and what is your purpose? Right now you have to get ready to go back. So Baba says that the more you churn this knowledge, of who you are, who is Baba, what is the source, yes, so, and where do you have to go, what is the time cycle, what is the time, the more it sits in your buddhi, it shifts your consciousness, and then you are able to you perform actions accordingly. So this is why in the Murli Baba is saying today, sweet children, only when your intellects have knowledge will your remembrance of the Father remain permanent. Yes, stay on the spiritual pilgrimage and enable others to stay on it by filling their intellects with knowledge. Because to stay on a pilgrimage, you need a lot of, there is consistent effort required. So to always stay, what is a pilgrimage? You move ahead, right? So you will only move ahead if you're constantly moving ahead. Yes, if you're stopping, you are again falling down. So have you seen that pilgrimages are mostly, upwards. So they are on some mountain or somewhere. And then, if you have a car and you're moving forward, fine. But then there is a downhill. So if you stop, you might go down. So you have to keep continuously moving. So that's the thing about this spiritual pilgrimage. So this also Baba explains today, that when you're remembering Baba, good, you are accumulating power and peace and happiness, fine. But the moment you stop remembering Baba, you do something untoward. So have you seen that we are so messed up right now that we have knowledge, and then when I'm in awareness, I am very close to a deity. I am like very pure, peaceful in my conduct. And the moment that awareness slips away, then, all the vices creep in. So, you could, and this Sangam Yuga is like really Sangam Yuga. So, it's like the amalgamation of light and dark, and you could go to the brightest white, and then you could slip into the, worst kind of dark, because you're not in awareness. So, the moment you remember Baba, you are in the light, and then when you forget Baba, then you can slip into the dark. And what happens is, when you forget Baba, when you're not in awareness, then you perform some action which is based on lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. And when you do that, what happens is, every action has a whole cycle. So you get into that trap, that vicious cycle of that action. Because an action you can't just do and leave. It has consequences. So let's say you were not in your awareness, moment of awareness, and then somebody was accusing you of something, or somebody was saying something to you, and you just spoke to them in an angry manner or a rude manner. Now what happens is, after some time you have come to your senses. Now you are all sweet and pure. But what about that other person? They have that memory, they are carrying that memory of what you told them, and they are hounding you for 6 months after that. So, you said this, and in that moment you said this, and you meant this, and this is how you think about me and feel about me. And then you have to deal with all of that. So Baba says that, when your moment of awareness is there, then you are very close to me and you are engaging in accurate action. But when it's not there, then you sometimes perform karma, and if you perform karma under the influence of lust, or sometimes a lot of anger, then that karma can make you suffer, and it can create that destiny that you are not able to come to your senses anymore. It kind of consumes you. That whole karmic cycle that you have generated because of that consumes your time and thought and everything, and then you're not even able to come back to your state of remembrance. So Baba says that this is why understand knowledge, understand the call of time, and pay attention to continuous remembrance. Because whenever remembrance slips, you do some action, because Maya is always pulling you, trying to trick you, and then you fall into that trap of the vicious cycle of the consequences of those actions. So Baba says, beware about that. And then in the blessing today, Baba is talking about practicing having the consciousness of being an instrument. Now, Baba says that the lesson of being an instrument makes you constantly detached and loving. So, the moment you remember, I am an instrument, yes, I am Baba's instrument with respect to this body, with respect to the work, everything, then you become detached and loving. So Baba's instrument is always loving, and then you bring Baba in between, so you become detached. You are not directly attached to that relationship or that task. So you understand that this is Baba's task. I am here because of Baba's Srimad, and that makes you detached and loving. If you hold this consciousness in your household also, it makes you very detached and loving. And Baba says, if you practice the natural and easy consciousness of being an instrument, your progress and others is always merged in that at every step. So Baba says, when you are an instrument, when you behave like an instrument, when you are aware that I am an instrument, then your progress is always there, because you are detached and loving. You don't create any vikarma. Yes, and also you understand, you are able to see clearly what the other soul needs, what the situation needs. Because when you want something, you are not able to see what they need. Yes, so have you seen that when your buddhi is shrouded by a desire or a want, then you are not able to see exactly what that soul needs or that situation needs. So let's say when you're crossing the road and you're very consumed by the fact that you're late and that you need to rush and you need to reach in time. So when your buddhi is consumed by that, you don't even understand that the traffic signal wants you to wait. And you sometimes, you are not able to respect that. So I'm giving you a very simple example, but this happens all day. And when you are detached, when you understand that I have to get whatever I need from Baba, and here I have to give what Baba has given me, then you are able to contribute to every soul and every situation, because there you are not consumed by your desires, your needs and your wants. And Baba says in that your progress is also merged, because the one who gives always receives, and the other person also benefits, the situation also benefits. The feet of such souls are not on the ground but on the stage, because wherever you step on, wherever you put your foot, that place becomes a stage for seva. Because you see, seva is not when you are sent for seva. When you have the attitude for seva, then every place becomes an opportunity for seva. And I will share one incident with you. It's a very simple incident, but I remember it always. So when I was in Nirman Bhavan, so I was working with the health ministry and I was in Nirman Bhavan, and there is Vigyan Bhavan which is very close to Nirman Bhavan. So, but I did not have this habit of, I was not interested in going and seeing places, so I never went to Vigyan Bhavan to see. But most of my colleagues would go, and they would, because we had access to entry and all. And then, I always had this feeling that I am Baba's instrument. And one day, as soon as I reached office, I had this urge that I have to go to Vigyan Bhavan today. And then I asked my friend, and she said, I'm not going anywhere with you because you don't go anywhere with me. So I'm not taking you anywhere. Now you decide how you're going to go. And then I said, no, you please take me, please, I want to go. And then she arranged everything, and then 2 friends of mine and we went. And when we went, there was this brother in white clothes with a badge standing outside Nirman Bhavan, and he told me, so Didi, you came, and I don't know that brother. I told him, so do you know me? So he said, no, I don't know you, Didi, but I have brought some gifts for a conference which is going on in Nirman Bhavan, in Vigyan Bhavan right now. And I was waiting so that I find some sister who could come and give that on stage, because the sister who had to come is not able to come. So I was just telling Baba that Baba sent some sister here, and I was standing here outside the building so that some sister comes and delivers those gifts. And then I left those friends outside and I told both of my friends, now you roam on your own, I have got my seva. And they said, this is what you do to us. And then I went with that brother and I distributed those gifts to those people who had come to attend the conference. And it was a beautiful experience, because Baba says that when you have this consciousness that you are for seva, everywhere you go, I will create a stage for you. I will create that platform where you'll be able to contribute in some manner or the other, whether in the terms of vibrations or bringing souls closer to Baba in any which way. So this is an example of that. And then Baba says that those who are instruments are constantly aware that they are examples to world of being equal to the Father. So definitely you pay attention to your conduct and your words and your stage, because you know that the world is looking at you as Baba's instrument. And then what happens is, if you pay constant attention, that becomes your sanskar eventually. So you benefit like that. Okay. Om Shanti.